If you have a story about a law of attraction success, or about miracles, divine interventions, or happy glitches in the matrix, send it to me via email or on Instagram. The contact info is on the screen.
Everything that you have been taught about manifestation is wrong. Law of attraction, one of the first things we ever hear about is The Secret, okay? Ask, believe, receive, right? Wrong. And even in the law of assumption community, they're guilty of telling you that you have to believe before you can receive, and that's not true. I don't even know if I have ever heard one teacher tell anyone that you don't have to believe first, and in fact that you will not believe first. So baseline is whatever you focus on, you get more of. Every teacher seems to know this, but for some reason it's still being taught that you need to believe before you can receive something. Well, how come you can think of things a lot and you start seeing them in your reality? It's not about believing, it's about focus. Let me tell you what the believing is good for. It's important, but it's not this far up in the to-do list. Believing is not your priority. Believing is not what is going to initially bring you your manifestation. I say this because you will not believe until you experience, which is why so many people have struggled with thinking they believe something or saying like, I've affirmed it so much, I know I believe it, why isn't it here? Because that's not the system. That's not how it works. How it works is you choose your affirmations, right? You choose your new thoughts that you're going to think. And you think them over and over and over again. We know that repetition trains the subconscious. Everything we've ever been brainwashed with was through repetition, whether you consciously knew it or not. Everything has been imprinted, everything has been programmed in here from repetition, okay? So when you want to change the program, when you want to manifest something new, when you want to select a new state, you have to think as if that thing is already true.
My advice for this is literally fake it till you make it. I know it's cliche, but dude, when I tell you the amount of times that even me, after I've manifested so much and like the universe is probably at a point where it's like, dang girl, like how much more proof do you need? I'm human. Everyone has those doubts where they're like is it really gonna come? Like, is it on its way? Like you're just like waiting and you're just like anticipating. Especially in the beginning when I was like starting to manifest and like I didn't have any manifestations to like show for it, I feel like it was harder in the beginning. But now that I have manifestations to show for, it's kind of like, look at what you've done, you know? Like, why don't you trust in the process if you've already done it a million times? You have to realize that if you say something every single day, and that's why I think affirmations are so important, because even if you don't believe it, you're saying it out loud and it's making it known out loud in the universe. So it's kind of like reflecting back to you and your mind subconsciously, it will help you. So eventually, after a while, even if you don't believe it, after a while, your mind is going to end up believing it because you kept on saying it so much, and now it's kind of registered in your mind for you to be forced to believe it. Does that make sense? So yeah, overall, my advice would just be fake it till you make it. Even if in your 3D reality, like in the physical world, even if you see everything going wrong, and you're just like, what I manifested is not even coming true. Even if you think it in your mind, don't ever say it out loud. Just always say, no, even if everything looks wrong, in my mind, everything's going right and everything's going as planned. So yeah, so basically just fake it till you make it, because eventually you're going to end up believing what you're saying and believing your manifestations, and it's going to end up coming true because you kept to it and you stuck to your manifestations and your beliefs.
The number one question that comes up whenever it comes to manifestation is the challenge people have with not doubting. Okay, so people want to manifest, they want to get in the frequency, but they're like, well, how do I stop the doubts? How do I stay in the timeline of my desire? How do I stay in the frequency of my desire without doubts coming up and my thoughts and limiting beliefs holding me back? And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that so those doubts never get in the way of your manifestations again. So this is what you're going to do, okay? You're going to focus on one subject at a time with your manifestation. So let's say in this case, you're just focusing on calling in more money. Okay. So think of the manifestation. Then you're going to get a piece of paper, or you're going to write on your notes app in your phone any possible limiting belief that you have, or that you might have, or that you might think, or you've thought in the past around this subject. So let's say again, it's money. On this list, you're going to write down any doubt, anything that has come up in the past. Well, I've never had money before. I grew up poor. My parents were poor. I think money is hard to come by. I don't know if I have talent to be rich. I don't know if I have what it takes to be rich. Whatever, okay? Whatever you can think of that might be within you as a limiting belief, you're going to write it down. And this is going to serve such an important purpose. Because now with this list, when you move forward with your manifestation journey and getting in the frequency of what it is that you desire, and then all of a sudden a doubt comes up, and that doubt is saying, well, we just got a big bill yesterday, like we have so much debt, I don't know if we can be rich, or how are you going to make money, or we grew up poor our whole lives. You're going to refer back to this list and you're going to say, oh, wait a second, I already wrote this down. And this list is every and any excuse that the ego is going to come up with along my manifestation journey. I already predicted this. I already knew what the ego might say, and this list is my ego. It's not me. It's not my true self, because who I am is limitless. Who I am is the creator, and I know I can create and experience whatever it is that I desire. All of these doubts and limiting beliefs and limitations on this list is the voice of the ego. And I wrote it down, so whenever it comes up, I immediately recognize that this is my ego's voice. This isn't my true voice. This list is basically going to serve as an identifier of whenever your ego pops up in your mind. So when that voice comes up, you say, ego, hold on a second. I know this is you. I already predicted this. I already wrote down everything you could possibly say. I see you. I see that you're trying to get in my head and bring me down. Okay, the ego is trying to protect you. It thinks it's trying to protect you, but it's really just keeping you small and keeping you safe by repeating the same things over and over. Okay, so you're gonna say, hey ego, I know this is you. I know this isn't me. And you're gonna separate yourself from it, and boom, that power and that control that it has over you immediately is gone. Now, when you're starting this journey, it might be a little harder because the ego might be like, wait, no, it's not me, it's you, it's real, these thoughts are real. But you're gonna say, no, I know it's not you, because any sort of limiting belief, any sort of limitation, any sort of playing small, any sort of I can't, is the ego. It's not me, because I'm limitless, I'm powerful, I can have whatever I desire, because that's just how it is. So as soon as you recognize that voice, you separate yourself from it, and then from there you can take a couple approaches. Probably the healthiest approach is to say, ego, I love you. I know that you think you're trying to keep me safe, but we're good. I love you. It's okay. We can expand. We can experience beautiful things. We can grow. It's okay. Just rest. I love you. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I understand you're worried. Just shh, settle down. Or sometimes I just honestly get fed up with my ego being annoying, and I'm like, just shh, zip it. Okay, I don't want to hear from you anymore. You need to check yourself, and you need to just take a seat. As soon as you do that, the power that that voice has over you, those doubts have over you, is gone, because you know it's not you. You know that's the little voice in your head called your ego. You can give it a name if you want to. Separate yourself from it, tell it to take a seat, and then you get back into the frequency of you being the creator, you being powerful, you being all that is, you knowing that there is no limit to whatever it is that you want to manifest, and boom, you're back on that timeline, back in that frequency, and there you go. It'll manifest in no time.
Ultimately, the key thing here is you've got to work on your perception and your thought processes around the manifestation process. So instantly, if I had these niggling doubts, and I have so many times in the past, it's unbelievable when you're opening your mind up to the power of manifestation and you're becoming more self-aware of it. You then start to question it and you start to think, oh, is it going to work? And unless you're having that solid proof in front of you that it's working, our brain is instantly going to try and question whether it actually works or not. So what I would be doing, if I had that triggering thought of, oh, what if it doesn't happen? What if I can't manifest what I want? I would in an instant say, no, it is going to happen. I have the power to allow it to happen. This is what I want. This is the reality that I want for myself. And I am that powerful a manifester that I can ensure that it's going to happen without question, because everything that I want always comes to me. I don't need to sit in this worry because I manifest all the time. So if I can manifest the bad stuff into my life, I can manifest the good stuff as well. So it is going to happen for me. And I will just stay focused in that knowing. The reason why it becomes quite difficult and we do have these niggling doubts is because obviously we know that we manifest all the time. We've been manifesting our entire life, but when we actually become more self-aware of the manifestation process, our brain has to think differently. It makes your brain feel a little bit uncomfortable as well to think in this different way, because you've had this thought process your whole life that no, this is the way life is, this is what happens, I don't have much control over it, people hurt me, or whatever it might be that you have kept in with that belief and that knowing of. So opening up your mind to a whole new thought process and thinking, well, no, actually, I have the power to control my thoughts, to control my reality, to control what happens in my life because I can change myself. It opens up this whole new avenue of your brain thinking in a completely different way. And because your brain then feels really uncomfortable with that, because it's trying to do something that it's not been consciously aware that it's been doing before, it will try to fill you with these doubts of, no, this doesn't work. Because what happens is when we start manifesting, we become so focused on our current circumstances, what we see in front of us, that if we're not getting that hard evidence of it coming in straight away, our brain's like, no, this isn't working, it won't happen, and then it will resort you back to your old way of thinking. Even though it's more self-limiting and it's holding you back, it's more familiar to you. And your brain wants to keep you in that state of feeling comfortable. Even though it's not the best thing, it's comfortable, it's familiar. And so your brain is going to try to keep you in what it feels is being comfortable by throwing in there, oh, what if it doesn't happen? Or it might not work though, because it's trying to think in a completely different way. So next time you get that niggling doubt of, what if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't manifest? Convert it straight away. Reframe it into something more beneficial to you. Remind yourself, I can have anything I want. I can be and do anything that I want in this life because I have the power to do that. I have the complete power to control my thoughts, to control what goes on in here so I can reflect it out in my current reality and stay in that knowing. Takes a little bit of practice, but just switch it in that instant. You don't have to believe it straight away. Just keep going with that repetitive process of, there's that niggling doubt. No, we're switching it. We're reframing it now. We're not thinking that old way anymore. And eventually your brain will start to latch onto this new way of thinking. It's got a lot of reprogramming to do in here, but the more you practice it, the more your brain starts to be convinced that, okay, this is our new way of thinking. Let's roll with it.
What do you think about today's success story? Give this video a like and write me a comment. I love hearing from you. Subscribe and press the black bell icon so you never miss an inspiring video. If you have a story about a law of attraction success, or about miracles, divine interventions, or happy glitches in the matrix, send it to me via email or on Instagram. The contact info is on the screen. Right now on the screen you also find a link to a playlist with all the success stories I posted so far. To retrain your subconscious mind to become a happy, optimistic, grateful person and a powerful manifester, watch these success stories every day. Make it a daily habit and notice the results in and around you. The Bible says, according to your faith be it unto you. So keep strengthening your confidence in your faith and in yourself. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video.